Yeah, I'll have to keep checking it because it did stop recording last time. So I have to keep checking. I hope it didn't put you off. But
Yeah.
yeah, I lost about 10 minutes without Elaine's. The camera's playing up. Fuck knows what's wrong with it. Okay, looks like we've got 19 minutes, so we can be a bit shorter than that if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'm very brief.
Cool. So I'll just ask you some random questions and we'll have a mess around and see how we do. So the obvious first question is, how long have you been eating raw meat for?
I started eating raw meat for like maybe 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago. At first I didn't really eat raw meat only, like exclusively. I started with just eating some raw beef from the supermarket, organic, for lunch maybe, and it would be like 100 grams or something. And I slowly made my way up to like 300 grams. And I actually tried going fully raw meat like a year ago already, but some things happened to me. Like I would get a lot of head pressure and some sort of other stuff, and which really like I couldn't even continue eating raw meat because it would just get worse. Looking back later, it was some sort of like toxicity which I just didn't like. Hadn't prepared myself for it, but that really caused me to that really made me like wait longer than to start fully eating raw meat, which I do now.
Yeah.
For only like 4 months now.
4 months. 100% for?
Occasionally I like cook meat with some other people or just shit food.
Yeah.
But I aim for 100%, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the toxicity thing you talked about, I mean, is that something everybody needs to go through, do you think, with the raw meat?
To a certain degree, everyone needs to go through it. But the thing is that we're so different. Like for me, it was like pure hell because the thing that I had, or what the disease that I had, like really made it hard for me to really detox in a proper way. So the raw meat did its job. Like
Yeah.
totally got a bunch of all toxicity in my body, like totally destroyed it, and was ready to show it the exit. Like,
Yeah.
and but I just couldn't get rid of it because candida that's what I had. Like really blocks your detoxification pathways.
Okay.
So that's what really, and I didn't even know that I had that. Like, basically, I started eating this raw meat because I had like very vague symptoms, but goddess Sv3rige really assured me that whatever it is that's bothering you, raw meat, raw organs, whatever, it will definitely fix you.
It will fix it.
Yeah.
And was it a case of you just had to eat more meat in order to detox, or were you missing some other nutrients, or what went wrong in the beginning, do you think?
Well, the first thing, I only ate muscle meat. I didn't supplement any fat. And looking back, that's a really bad idea, especially if you're like very toxic. But I didn't know that. But still, basically, you need to eat more raw fat than raw meat to really detox properly, or like very clean, like without any symptoms, so to say.
I see.
That's what Ajna's Wonder Planet said anyway. But so I didn't even supplement with any fat. So basically, I was eating a ton of raw meat and a little bit of fat.
Okay.
And I was really like just overkill, total overkill.
Really?
And over the months or over the weeks, like it really built up, and then I really got the toxicity. But what's important is when you start a raw meat diet is just don't like limit yourself to muscle meat. That's a lot of people just think that they can do this diet, or even cooked like zero carb diets, just only meat. They only eat muscle meat day in, day out, and maybe a little bit of eggs here and there. Don't do that. Like muscle meat is good, of course, better than any plant matter that you will ever find. But the organs, like that's the real shit. Like if you eat that stuff, you're gonna heal so quickly.
Well,
For real, that's the best stuff ever. So when I started incorporating raw liver in my diet, the toxicity went away. And at first I discovered it on accident. You know, it was like inventing the thing that explodes. You know, like the Chinese, they invented whatever. Cut that out. It was like I just was so very desperate. I started just eating like some liver because God has always told me like liver, like the best stuff ever, superfood, man. And I tried it, and boom, like it all went away. Like 30 minutes, I could feel it like slowly. My body was getting rid of whatever was bothering me. And then I thought, wow, maybe I just need to eat liver every day. But I didn't have access to the liver every day.
yeah.
So that was impossible for me. So first I started eating more fat. That worked a little, but in the end I got really toxic. So then I just decided, fuck it, I'm not eating raw meat. and I did like cooked ketogenic diet or zero carb diet for like half a year more.
Yeah.
And then the symptoms just really started bothering me again. I was like, fuck it, I need to heal. Like I'm young, I really can do it.
Yeah.
It's my time to just do it. I mean, fuck it. So I started trying it again, and I ate a lot of fat this time. I really got make sure that I had fat,
Yeah.
and everything went well, no problem at all. And after some months, I got the toxicity, and this time it got really bad, like close to like epileptic attacks, because I was really so toxic.
Wow.
So if everyone's wondering, like if you're epilepsy there or epileptic,
Epilepsy. Or
epilepsy,
epileptic,
yeah, that's caused by huge amounts of toxicity in the system, like huge. So what I did was just eat a lot of liver,
Yeah.
and it went away, and I finally understood, okay, so eating raw fat helps, but you really need organs to really get rid of it completely.
Wow.
So now I got a liver source that I can eat every day if I want to, and I just eat like 600 grams maybe. It's a lot, like every 2 days.
Wow.
To feel really clean, and it totally helps, because when I do it, I wake up at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Like my system is fully clean, like ready to start the day. So the liver is like really a godsend.
Wow.
It's the best thing ever.
That's crazy.
So get used to it. It's really the best thing.
So yeah, just going on what you say there, get used to it. I mean, personally, I've been struggling with the taste of liver. Why does it taste like shit? And is that a sign, or what's all that about?
Well, the first time I tried liver was like from a regular butcher, so not organic at all. And I cooked it. It was terrible. I remember like taking the first bite, and I thought to myself, wow, people eat this stuff raw, day in, day out, what the fuck? And I started losing all hope, like maybe this raw diet isn't something for me after all, and I will never be cured, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But then I actually tried raw liver for the first time, organic as well, and the taste was okay. Like, I mean, the texture is like slimy, and maybe you got a gag a few times when you eat it for the first time, but it was so much better than a cooked one. And also because the liver is better quality, so like organic meat is really, if you buy organs, buy it organic, clean, grass-fed, the best quality that you can get. But muscle meat, it doesn't really matter. Of course you need the best quality you can get, is awesome, but if you get an organ that's from a bad animal or sick animal, it's gonna taste like shit. Like, always will taste like shit. Liver, it's like one of those things that you really need to get the best of the best. You can also try veal liver, of course, because that has like a sweet taste.
Yeah.
Cow liver is just like a little bit sour, maybe weird aftertaste. But I'm used to it because it's super cheap, so I always buy it. And now I eat chicken livers as well. They don't really have a taste, so. And I just like very small piece and then just chew a little. And
Yeah.
I always chew like this is a good tip. If you eat liver, chew it on the side of your mouth, like not on your tongue, because on the tongue you will get a lot of taste. Like every bite you take will be an overflow of taste. Just push it to the side of your mouth and chew it there, because then you don't get the flavor as much.
Okay.
That's a tip for everything. If you ever really need to eat something disgusting, do that. However, you will be used to disgusting foods after this diet, so
Yeah. So why are they disgusting? Why do we need to get used to them? Is nature saying, like, you know, you shouldn't be eating it as often, or what? Why do we need to get, or is it just that we're not used to it? What is it?
it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
Basically, wild animals taste really good.
Ah.
They're supposed to taste really sweet. That's like, there's another theory that all the fake foods that we eat are basically derived from that core desire of us to really have like sweet tasting foods. Because in nature, the sweetest foods are actually animal fats that are really healthy.
Oh, wow.
So that's one thing. Like, you really need like wild animals. They taste a lot better than the farmed ones, which is another reason we should go back to nature. But that's another topic. And yeah, we just got to get used to it. Yeah, like, so liver, like raw meat in general, the first time you eat it, the texture, the water contents, it's like, oh, what's in my mouth? You think like, oh, bacteria or whatever. You're thinking like, oh, there's a lot of shit going on in my mouth. But that's actually the way it's supposed to be. So that's really just getting used to it. Right now I can just eat anything raw. I don't even care. Yeah, it's just, I don't, because I'm used to it now. So when I see like a raw brain, other people think like, oh, that's unedible, but I just, no, easy.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Raw brain.
Easy.
Well, I've not done that yet. That
Just
scares
take
me.
some time.
And what about raw eyeballs, raw bollocks? Have you done any of this kind of thing?
No, but I'm curious. I would do them.
You
Yeah.
would?
Sure, if you had them like right here,
Yeah.
I would take a bite. Yeah.
Wow. And what's brain like? Well, does it taste okay or?
I actually never had it, but I would not be afraid of
Oh,
eating
okay.
it. But
Right.
from what I've heard, it's super creamy and it's basically the best food you can eat. Full of cholesterol, fat. It's totally like the liver that really helped me because it got rid of the toxicity. Supposedly, brain does it like it's twice as good or something.
Wow. Really?
So it's like best food ever.
Wow.
Just hard to get, so
Okay.
not many people eat it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've never tried it. And okay, so just going to this week here. This is your third meetup, is it?
It's my well. I went to Goddess once with a friend from the IC as well, but we never. It was never like a real Sv3rige meetup, so
Oh,
to
yeah.
say. But I guess you can call this my third one. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And how did this one differ from the other ones?
Many people,
Yeah.
a lot of people. We never really had a problem with doing stuff like activities maybe, because right now there's a lot of like people just there's groups and they do that and they do that. It used to be that we just went somewhere with everyone. And, like, Goddess really took the lead.
Hmm.
This year that went a little differently, and there wasn't really like a program, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's different, but it's very interesting to see like so many people from so many different places. Like I really can't wait until next year and see how many new people we get or where they're from and what their stories are like. It's just incredible to see people all over the world waking up and finally eating raw meat and just getting the health that they deserve.
Yeah.
That's amazing, really inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's lots of different perspectives as well. It's been
Yeah.
quite interesting. And talking about the people who are here, when I arrived, I noticed there's quite a lot of conspiracy theories flying about.
Yeah.
Is that something you? I mean, I've heard you talking about a few, like overheard you. Is that something you partake in, or you?
Well, when you try this diet, you slowly start to understand like how twisted the whole world is when it comes to food and general health. And as you realize that, you start to open up for other possibilities in the world of conspiracies, basically. So that's why there's a lot of crazy nutters in this raw food business. But at the same time, I don't really, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, because it's important to be aware of anything else that could really be deceiving and affecting our quality of life. But at the same time, I really dislike the connection that the raw meat movement has with other conspiracies such as the flat earth, because it really discredits one thing because people don't believe the other thing, which is stupid, because I always think like, okay, so she thinks that, but that doesn't mean that that information isn't true. But most people don't really think like that. They really gotta slowly ease into the world of conspiracies, because raw meat, let's face it, it is a conspiracy. Everyone says it's bad for you,
Yeah.
but it isn't. It's like a secret again.
Yeah.
So yeah, conspiracies. It's important to have them. Like that's how I see it. It's just important to keep them alive, but at the same time, don't get invested to it or tunnel vision, whatever. You know, raw meat is the most important of all.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they seem to go hand in hand for some reason. It's quite strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a quite bit of a shock to be arriving here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
think
did you
so.
think like when you came here? Like,
Well, I thought it'd be more raw meat.
yeah.
I thought it was all about that, really.
Yeah.
The conspiracy stuff. I didn't think everyone would have an opinion on, or you
No.
know. So,
Yeah.
so do you believe in the flat Earth and these other things? Then,
No,
or
I don't believe in
You
the
don't
flat
believe in
Earth.
it? Okay.
At first, I like briefly entertained the thoughts,
Yeah.
maybe, but nah, it's just completely paranoia to think that all the people are lying and that all governments are conspiring against you. I really believe in human stupidity when it comes to that. Just like raw meat, because there are people still eating it, and we even like every country has like a raw dish that they eat.
Yeah.
And it's totally normal. It's just that the people don't realize that they're being manipulated by food producers, maybe even doctors that try to sell their medicine. I think the information is out there. It's just that they try to suppress it as long as possible. So that's like the only real conspiracy that matters to me.
Yeah.
Flat Earth, like even if it was flat, who the fuck cares?
So why are they not giving the information on proper health and nutrition? Then why are they holding this information back? Do you think?
Partly because they really believe it.
Okay.
I think the people that write the laws, they eat bread themselves probably. They
Okay.
like sweets, they drink beer. I really think it's like that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the pharmaceutical companies or the fast food companies or whatever, they know that they create bad meat and bad food, and that they because they studied the effects already, but they just suppress the information and want to make money. They don't understand that health actually equals happiness.
Yeah.
So you don't need the money anymore. But
Mm.
that's just the future. Maybe people will wake up.
Yeah, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And obviously you've known Gades probably the longest out of the group.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So he was going. You mentioned the other day that it was going back to some game. I forget the name of it now.
RuneScape.
That's where you met.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know nothing about this world whatsoever. But can you just talk about that a little bit and how you met him and what's it all about?
So RuneScape is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game, if I remember correctly. And you're like a knight, and you can change range skills and magic and whatever, wood cutting, like all sorts of skills. But we didn't really play for that reason. We really played just to kill other people, which you can do in an area called the wilderness, like the Wildy, people call it, like cute name, you know. And we just go there and like have a big team of people and just kill everyone on sight. It's just a lot of fun. And Gades made videos on. He was like very famous on the game, like really, like one of the biggest RuneScapers ever, probably. And he made PK videos, which was just killing people and making like montages of it. Like really one of the first games that really did montages, and they just put some cool music on it. And I really liked the music. I always liked the music. Like when I was a child, even when he quit, I was like, oh man, those songs are so good. We'd just go back to the videos to just listen to the songs. And then I noticed that he came back to RuneScape, and I played myself back then, and I thought maybe I can join his clan, you know, just join it and like see what it's like. And I remember back then I thought like, damn, this guy is a massive asshole because he treated people like shit.
Really?
When you ask him, he will say like, yeah, I was a massive dick.
Really? What, within the game or in real life?
Like both. Like
Both.
he was just mega brainwashed, eating shit food and just playing games all day, and would just tell people to fuck off, you know.
Fuck.
Totally like that. But I remember the music like really attracted me to him, because I really thought like, wow man, how come that every song is good that he used? Like there's no exception. I thought, what the fuck? I mean, does this guy have like a gift or like a system or something? I want to know. So I started talking to him. I said like, oh man, I always like your songs. And he was like, okay, whatever, you know, like total dick. But I stick with it, and I just started talking to him in the IRC, just a chat program. And eventually, I remember him one time talking about conspiracies with some dude, or like saying 9/11 shit, and he said like, yeah man, I think there might be no planes at all, or something like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, are you sure you want to talk about this? This is going to change your life if you really go on with it. And I said, sure man, just shoot. And he started talking about all these conspiracies, like yeah, there were no planes used in 9/11 and whatever, and the Illuminati, you know about them. And I was like, I only heard of it like some sort of meme, you know, like just a joke. But he was really serious about it, and at first I thought like whatever. But here I am now, 10 years later, like really, well, I'm not really, that's actually like a joke, I'm not really into Illuminati or stuff, but just still talking with him and talking about secrets of the world, so to say, raw meat and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, and music, definitely, like, that's one of the main reasons that I connected with him.
Wow.
The music is still, every mix that he makes, it's full of amazing songs. Like,
Wow, cool.
yeah, it's crazy.
Brilliant.
It's crazy.
And were you inspired by him to go raw then with the Primal Diet?
Yeah, because we knew each other for a long time, and I talked about him about my depressive feelings and anxiety sometimes. And every time, like after me just talking for like an hour, he would say like, man, I just think it's nutrition, because he was slowly getting into nutrition. He started talking about keto and stuff, cooked keto he did back then, I think. He said, man, it's probably something like that. And I just kept saying like, yeah, you know, diet. I didn't believe that diet affected mental health. Like looking back, like I'm so retarded. Like what the fuck? Of course it affects it. But yeah, I just didn't believe it. And slowly but surely, like he convinced me to try zero carb. Did that for a year. My symptoms like really were under control. They were under control, but they didn't get better. So at one point he did the raw meat thing, and he said like, if you want to heal, like really heal yourself, you need to eat alive food, raw meat. And I just thought, fuck it, man. I remembered as a child how I felt was amazing. Good music, like really gave me vibrations in my body, and I didn't feel anything, like nothing at all. And I really wanted to feel stuff again. So then that really convinced me. Like I said, fuck it, raw meat. I'm just gonna do it. And I remember, like when I ate it for the first time, it really it already like awakened my body. Like it started
Wow.
doing weird shit.
The
Like,
very first time.
yeah, the very first time, like it started wobbling everywhere, and I could feel like my body was really like, okay, now you finally gave me the fuel. Now I can really do shit that you need. And yeah, it was amazing for me. Like it already convinced me of the diet. Anyway, I was like, man, even if people, whatever bacteria shit, I don't give a shit, man. It's this stuff. It was like the sensation was so good. I was
Fuck.
like, this stuff is really, yeah, this has to be it. Basically, I also started waking up earlier. My body temperature got higher, something that ketogenic diet never really did for me. So I really thought like this is the next step. Basically, it was the next step. Looking back, it was like the next step, the final step basically to get into the right diet and to reach real health and happiness maybe. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
So how long would you say you were on the diet before you saw sort of differences in your mental health, like depression and all that? Was it quite quickly, or did it take quite a while to sort of feel good?
In my case, because everyone is different, that's really something to be noted. It took me like, it slowly got better like over 2 months, but at 2 months I had like, I remember like a week where I just felt totally different, and from there on music started to sound okay-ish. Like there was like a new low, no wait, a new middle ground. So like
Okay.
it used to be like this, like really bad all the time, and whenever I would drink it would be like just like the bottom, couldn't get anywhere. And I reached a new level. Like even when I drank, sometimes it would go down, but it would still like reach that level that would be okay, like agreeable, good. I would still go out and just feel okay, you know, never really anxious and really depressed. So I really, yeah, that's really made me realize, man, I'm on track to become healthy, and I'm really like doing the right thing, and I'll never feel super depressed like I did before. That was amazing, like that
That does
realization.
sound incredible. So it's down to nutrition only, you think?
For sure, man. Like some people here like to say about like stress and like opening up your mind and different perspectives, but I already know that when you eat better, your perspectives change themselves. They like basically, I woke up that day that I felt better and I saw the world in a different light. You start walking like having a better posture. I read tons of stories about people with the raw paleo diet that had a better posture after like 6 months or something, because they're so well fed. And basically you start to accept the world more because you're in a good mood. Just think about it, like when you wake up and you're in a good mood, everything doesn't really matter. It's the same that's how it affects you mentally. Like stress is just a bodily reaction. If you're like super malnourished and you can't do shit about anything and you have no friends and no feelings and you just, you know, of course you will have stress and like you don't have a good view of life. But if you're well fed, your mental health will be perfect. It's all connected. Like mental health, I would even go as far to say that mental health is physical health. I would say that.
Well,
I'm really sure of that.
so if these foods were brought into mental institutes, it could go a long way.
For sure. Of course, we still need to like look for the vaccines and what they do and whatever, but and also the gut. So the high meat is really important to study the gut biome.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest thing, the stupidest thing is that people are being kept sick in those hospitals and
Yeah.
mental science.
Yeah, it's really
Very
sad.
misunderstood.
Mm.
They think they're doing a good thing, like actually helping them, like putting them there, but it's doing nothing.
Sick, man. It's
Waste
totally
of money
sick.
as well.
Yeah, totally. I have got another question, but my battery's about to run out, so I'm going to pause it there a second.